Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, going to be talking through some MLB player props I like for today on Prizepicks for Wednesday, August the 10th. We got a full 15 game slate on Wednesday. We do have sort of a split slate today. There are some early games. I think we have 6 total games during the afternoon between 1 and 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then we have 9 games at night on this Wednesday slate. So got a little bit of a split slate today, and there are some plays I do like in these early games. The board's actually pretty strong for today. There's definitely a lot that stood out. For the sake of this video, we're going to share 3 plays that I like for today, guys. Got 3 pitcher props circled that stood out to me when I first took a look at the board on Tuesday night. But as always, I will give out some more plays I like for today. I will share those over on Patreon. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, it is linked down below in the description. If you want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide those daily over on Patreon. But yeah, guys, we got a big slate for today. Got 3 plays to share. Before we get started, though, talking through our plays for today, we can recap our plays on Tuesday. Gave out 3 picks on Tuesday, and it was not a great day, but I guess not terrible. We went 1-1-1 on the 3 plays that we gave out Tuesday. We hit the over on Austin Riley's total bases. Riley had a great game. Had a triple in his first at bat. Hit a home run. I think he finished with like 8 total bases. He had a single as well. That one hit obviously very quickly, very easily. The one play that we missed on was Paul Goldschmidt over total bases. Goldschmidt, I felt really good about that bet. Prizepicks actually took Goldschmidt's bases off of the board because it was so heavily juiced on the sports books. It was basically too good of a bet. Prizepicks didn't want to offer it, and unfortunately Goldschmidt went 0 for 3, had a walk. He did come up for his 5th at bat in the 9th inning, but they actually pinch hit for him because the Cardinals were losing by 7 runs, and I guess they just didn't want to. I guess they didn't really need Goldschmidt to hit at that point because they were going to lose anyway. So that was definitely annoying. In Coors Field, the Cardinals scored 5 or 6 runs, and obviously Goldschmidt didn't really contribute to any of that. Unfortunate, but that was our one miss, and then we did push on Alek Manoah over 5 strikeouts. He finished with exactly 5 strikeouts, and that was one of the reasons I liked getting that line at 5. I thought there was definitely a chance it would push. I felt like worst case scenario we could get a push. Manoah only pitched 5 innings. Weirdly, I think he only threw 77 pitches as well. He got pulled pretty early, definitely earlier than I thought he would. Had 5 strikeouts through 5 innings. So that play wound up being a push. But yeah, we move on to Wednesday slate. I got 3 plays for today, guys. Hopefully we can do well on this Wednesday slate, get a clean sweep. But before we talk through our plays for today, as always, please hit that like button down below. Appreciate you guys checking out these videos every day. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And also, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, definitely get over there, sign up, and use promo code Noah. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And you can see, all the props that Prizepicks has available. Obviously, at the time I'm making this video on Tuesday night, their full board is not posted yet. They have 6 categories up right now. But I want to say that for MLB, when the full board gets posted, there's usually 15 categories. I mean, Prizepicks is going to add a lot more props up. You can take a look at all those. You can take a look at the other sports that they offer as well. They do offer a lot of other sports outside of just MLB. And you can mix and match sports. You can do multi-sport entries. It's a lot of fun. Recommend you guys get over to Prizepicks if you have not yet. Make sure to sign up with promo code Noah, so that way you do get a deposit bonus when you sign up. But that's what I got, for at least for this Wednesday slate, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 3 plays for today. Again, we have some early games today, and I do have a couple plays that I like from these early games. First play that I like is going to be a pitcher fantasy score prop. Looking at Brandon Woodruff, and I'm going to be taking Brandon Woodruff's over 41.5 fantasy score going up against the Rays. Now, obviously, this seems like a pretty high number, but it's definitely warranted for a guy like Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff has pitched really, really well this season, and just throughout his career, he has been one of the better pitchers in the league. So far this year, when you look at his numbers in terms of expected ERA, expected batting average, expected slugging, those are all very, very solid. There's a lot of red, which is obviously what you like to see on Baseball Savant. And when you look at his strikeout stuff, he's got really good strikeout stuff. His K percentage ranks 86th percentile, has a really good whiff percentage, so he gets a lot of swings and misses, has a solid chase rate, so he gets a lot of swings and misses on pitches outside the strike zone. To be exact, he has a 29.4% K rate this season. And when you look at this matchup against the Rays are a very strikeout-heavy team. So far this year versus right-handed pitching, they have the 4th highest strikeout rate in the league, 24.7%. And their lineup in general is pretty weak. I don't think this is a spot we should really expect Woodruff to give up many runs. I mean, when you look at this Rays lineup, the only hitters you're really scared of is the top of the lineup with guys like Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau. Rosarena is a good hitter, but he strikes out a lot. the bottom of that lineup is really weak. Like G-Man Choi, Mejia, Siri, Walls, like those are not hitters that you're going to be super scared of. And there's, all those hitters strike out a lot. I mean, Choi has a 26% K rate against righties this year. Mejia 31%, Siri 32%, Walls 28%. So there's a lot of strikeouts available in this matchup for Brandon Woodruff, and offensively, you don't get too worried about this Rays lineup. Like, this is not a team you really expect to put up a ton of runs. And for what it's worth, Woodruff has already faced the Rays once this season, and he dominated against them. He pitched 5 shutout innings, only allowed 2 hits, had 10 strikeouts, he pitched 5 innings, allowed 1 run, had 10 strikeouts. He finished with 48 fantasy points through 5 innings last time he faced the Rays. So it's a really good matchup against Tampa Bay. It's one that Woodruff has already had some success in this season. With how good of a pitcher he is, with how much strikeout stuff how good his strikeout stuff is, his ability to pitch deep into the games as well. Like, he usually goes 6, sometimes 7 innings. Pretty likely that he's able to get a quality start here. If he gets a quality start with 6, 7, 8 strikeouts, maybe gets the win, there's definitely an easy path for him to finish over his fantasy score for today, to finish with at least 42 fantasy points. Like, if he pitches 6 innings with 7 strikeouts, I believe that would put him at 43 fantasy points. 6 innings, no runs, 7 strikeouts would be 43 fantasy points. But he could, maybe he pitches 6 innings with 5 strikeouts and no runs, but then he gets the win. That would also put him at 43 fantasy points. So a lot of ways for Woodruff to go over his fantasy score for today. I just think the matchup's really good. There's definitely a lot of strikeout upside. I think there's just, in general, a lot of upside in this matchup against Tampa Bay. So I like Woodruff's over 41.5 fantasy score for today. I don't mind his over strikeouts as well. Right now, 7.5 strikeouts. I think that looks pretty appealing. Would have to think that if Woodruff gets 8 strikeouts, he probably is also going to go over his fantasy score. But if you want to play his K prop, I don't hate that. Right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, there is some pretty heavy juice coming in on the over. Over 7.5 Ks for Woodruff is minus 145 on DK Sportsbook right now. So you could play that too, but for the sake of this video, we're going to be taking his over fantasy score as our first play for today. And the next play for today, it's one I really like. I thought this number was definitely too low. I took this same spot last time Josiah Gray pitched. It was the same projection against the Phillies, and he got absolutely rocked. Obviously, this is a much better matchup going up against the Cubs, and I'm liking the over 24.5 fantasy score for Josiah Gray today. Now, Josiah Gray so far this season, he's been solid. He definitely has some solid strikeout stuff. He's got a 26.7% K rate this year, has a really good whiff percentage, so he's able to get swings and misses. His chase rate's okay, but obviously not great. But what Josiah Gray has struggled with this season is home runs. I'm pretty sure he's actually allowed the most home runs out of any starter this season. But this is not a spot we should really expect him to give up a ton of home runs. I mean, this Cubs lineup in general is really weak. They're not a team that offers much power. When you look at where they rank versus right-handed pitching this season, in terms of batting average, they're about middle of the pack. But when you look at ISO, I mean, Chicago ranks where they at in ISO. They are 22nd in ISO. They're not a team that has a ton of power. There's definitely some strikeouts in this matchup as well. The Cubs are top 10 in strikeout rate, 23.2% K rate this season against righties. And as we mentioned, Josiah Gray has solid strikeout stuff. And it's just a friendly matchup in my opinion. I definitely think this fantasy score line is too low for Josiah Gray, especially when you look at his K prop. His K prop for today is currently sitting at 6. Man, I know Josiah Gray has had starts this season where he's gotten 7 strikeouts, but only finished with 15 fantasy points, because he'll have some starts where he goes 5 innings, gets 7 strikeouts, and gives up 3 runs. But I would think if Josiah Gray gets 6, 7 strikeouts, he's almost certainly going to get 25 fantasy points. He should be able to limit the damage in this matchup. The Cubs are just not that good of an offense, and they're not a team you really worry about putting up a ton of runs against a certain pitcher. Again, Josiah Gray's got hit pretty hard this year. He's definitely really struggled with lefties. As you can see, lefties have given him a problem, much more so than righties. But when you look at the lefties in this Cubs lineup, I mean, Rafael Ortega is not a hitter you're really worried about. He just has a 123 ISO and a 303 WOBA against righties this year. Ian Happ's a solid hitter, but still not a dangerous bat. Zach McKinstry, I mean, he has a 130 ISO and 174 WOBA against righties. Right now, it looks like there's only going to be, against right-handed pitching. Right now, it looks like there's only going to be 3 lefties in this lineup for Josiah Gray and for Josiah Gray to face, I guess. Right now, the Cubs only have 3 projected lefties in their lineup. Lefties have definitely been what Josiah Gray has struggled with more this year. I mean, you look, he's allowed a 388 WOBA and 322 ISO to lefties, whereas to righties, just a 295 WOBA, 204 ISO. Obviously, those numbers are not great, but they're definitely not as bad as to lefties. His K rate is also a little bit higher, 28% strikeout rate against right-handed hitters this year. So I think getting to face 6 righties, facing only 3 lefties, this is definitely a favorable spot for Josiah Gray. This Cubs lineup is not one that I fear. I definitely think there's strikeout upside for Gray in this matchup. And if he goes 5, even 6 innings, if he gets a quality start, he's almost certainly going to finish with 25 fantasy points or more. And I definitely think in this matchup, you could see Josiah Gray go 6 innings, get a quality start. And if he does that, again, he should finish with over 25 fantasy points. So that's the second play that I like for today is going to be Josiah Gray over 24.5 fantasy points. And then third and final play, we're going to go to the strikeout props category. There is one strikeout prop that I do like in one of these late games, and it's going to be Jose Berrios. Going to be taking his over 4.5 strikeouts going up against the Orioles. Obviously, we targeted this matchup on on Tuesday with Alek Manoah. Took his strikeout prop over 5, and he finished with 5 strikeouts. Berrios is a solid strikeout pitcher as well. He has a K rate that's actually pretty close to Manoah's. I can't remember exactly what Manoah's strikeout rate is this year, but so far this season, Jose Berrios does have a 21.1% K rate. He's gotten hit pretty hard this year. He definitely has struggled when it comes to getting barreled up. I mean, you look at his expected batting average, expected slugging, barrel percentage. Like those numbers are definitely not good. They're all towards the bottom 10% in the league. But he can get strikeouts, and that's really what we're looking for here. I mean, even if Jose Berrios gives up like 4 runs today, it doesn't matter as long as he can get us 5 strikeouts. That's all that we care about. And so far this year, for what it's worth, he has already faced the Orioles once this season, and he dominated against the Orioles earlier this year. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, but he did get 8 strikeouts last time he faced Baltimore. This Baltimore lineup, they don't strike out as much against righties as they do against lefties. In terms of K rate, they're about league average, 22.3% strikeout rate. We saw Manoah get 5 Ks in 5 innings against Baltimore. I could definitely see Berrios going 5-6 innings and pretty easily getting 5 strikeouts here. There are some low strikeout guys in this Baltimore lineup, but there's also some high strikeout guys like Mountcastle, 25% K rate, Odor 23%, Urias 23%, Mateo 28%. The top of that lineup, there's not a ton of strikeouts at the top of the lineup, but when you definitely get towards the bottom of the lineup, that's where you can find some easy strikeouts. And Berrios does have solid swing and miss stuff. He has a good curveball, a good slider that he can get chases on. And I just think in this matchup against a mediocre Baltimore team, we could definitely see Berrios get 5 strikeouts here. I do like this line at 4.5. It actually did open at 5.5, but Prizepicks bumped it down because most of the books have his prop at 4.5. Pretty surprised to see actually more money coming in on the under. Right now, under 4.5 Ks for Berrios is minus 125, so there's slightly more juice on the under than the over. But I still feel good about this over. I think this line of 4.5 is one that Berrios can definitely hit in this matchup. Again, he might give up a few runs here. He got beat up in his last start. I know against Minnesota, gave up 5 runs, 6 hits. He might give up a few runs, but I think he can get his 5 strikeouts, against this Baltimore team. For what it's worth, Berrios has recorded at least 5 strikeouts in 6 out of his last 7 starts. Or excuse me, 5 out of his last 6 starts, Berrios has recorded 5 strikeouts. So I like it as our final play for today, over 4.5 Ks for Jose Berrios. Going to be the third and final play. So this is what I'm liking for Wednesday's slate, guys. We have a split slate, some early games today, but we do also have some night games. Got 2 plays coming from some of the early games, and then I have 1 play coming from the late game or one of the night games. But yeah, this is what I'm liking for Wednesday, just kind of at first look. Again, I will take another look at the board on Wednesday morning, try and find some more plays I like, and I'm sure I'll be able to on a big slate like this. So I will share some more plays I like for today. I'll share those over on Patreon. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, as always, that is linked down below in the description. You can check that out if you are interested. But appreciate you guys watching this video. Definitely hit that like button if you have not yet. Also, hit that subscribe button as well. And check out Prizepicks. Sign up for Prizepicks. Make sure that when you do sign up, use promo code NOAH. Get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching the video. As always, appreciate you checking these out every day. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.